I'm going to transport you into a story previously on Beer Tales. Greenwich Woods is a lot denser, as if its trees grow a lot quicker, a path that very few of Feldham's locals dare to travel because they are scared of something living here, and they call her the Green Witch. And don't forget the colored lights. There's the locals who think the source of the light is the evil familiars of the Green Witch. Those entities don't only eat your flesh, but your soul as well. One part of the legend says the Green Witch is a man-eating monster, while the other says she is a finder of lost items. If that so-called witch could find the long-lost necklace of your mother, Gina, this is for you, Mother. And as your eyes adjust to the darkness, you can see multicolored lights between the trees' cracks, and they are fluttering. Gina screams in panic. Run towards that house! Have you found safety, or did you just plunge yourself even deeper into darkness? Who is the Green Witch, and which of the rumors surrounding her are actually true? To get those questions answered, just stay to the end of this video. This is a Beer Tale. Greenwich Woods, Part 2. Slam is the sound that the wooden door of the mysterious hut gives off just before it stands safely closed behind you. The room that you, Gina, and Frogrin now stand in is so dimly lit that you can only make out blurry silhouettes of the things before you. For some reason, the lantern light from Gina's sword, Chiliido, went completely dark as soon as you entered this building. You hear a soft metallic tapping against the floor as Gina appears to try to ignite her sword again as quietly as possible, and nothing happens. You can feel the air currents from Gina's hands swaying back and forth until she manages to grab your right shoulder. Gina gently pats you on your arm. She found you. About the same time, Frogrin's arms grab a hold of one of your legs. Well, since that is the only part of you that his halfling size manages to reach. As he does, you can feel his body vibrating. Then, as your eyes once again adjust to the dark, there actually is one thing that you can see. It's a transparent and green smoke that billows up from somewhere in the middle of the room. Snap! And a small reddish light is suddenly sending long shadows across the room. You now see that Frogrin is raising one of his hands above his head, and between the tips of his pointing finger and thumb there's now a red flame. Of course, Frogrin can use fire magic. Your party just found a new light source. Gina gracefully moves her blonde hair away from her face as she gratefully smiles at Frogrin and gives him a swift thumbs up. Frogrin grins in response. His green ale-pint-shaped glasses sparkles in the red fire's light. Gina's blue eyes suddenly turn towards you, giving you a quick smile before her facial expression swiftly transitions into seriousness and determination. She places one of her pointing fingers in front of her lips as her gaze faces towards the source of the green smoke. The smoke is billowing up from the wide opening of a black and round object, the size of half a human. The object appears to be made out of cast iron. You can now see that the faint green light is shining out of the cast iron object's opening, and there's a bubbling noise coming from it. When looking closer, you can see there's some kind of green liquid inside the cast iron object. Not only that, you also see the ends of long, solid, and white objects sticking out of this liquid. Is that bones? And suddenly, from the base of the cast iron object, a black shadow of a person rises. This person is now standing upright and in front of the bubbling black cauldron, but still with its back turned to you. Thorgrim falls down to the floor with a thud, while thankfully also managing to keep his red flame lit. Gina's baby blue armor clangs, and her yellow cape is swung to the side as she determinedly grabs her silver sword with both of her hands, pointing it towards the mystery person. And this person is wearing a hat, but not any kind of hat. It's a long and pointy witch hat, with her back still turned away from you. The green witch slowly turns her head to the right, so she can almost face your gaze. You can see that her skin, just like the rumors said, is bright green, and you hear a voice sounding like an unoiled door saying, "You lost, my poor pretties. We can't have that now, can we?" The green witch slowly raises one of her arms, and thanks to Thorgrim's fire, you can see that the witch's fingers have unnaturally long, black and sharp nails. The green witch snaps one of her fingers, and candles placed everywhere all across the room are all suddenly lit simultaneously. They give off a really bright but also very pleasant yellow light, and you can finally see the whole room. Apart from the candles that are literally placed everywhere, both where it is fitting to place candles and where it really isn't. There are also cloth sacks placed all around the room, and there's something brown in each of these sacks. As you take in the view, you can see that the witch actually hasn't long nails at all. Was that only the shadows you just saw? The witch clears her throat and lets out a couple of deep coughs. She suddenly jumps, rotating around completely, facing the three of you, face to face. Who is the Green Witch, and which of the rumors surrounding her are actually true? Before I reveal that to you, want early access to these YouTube stories? There's a 7-day free trial to Bearded Tales Patreon membership, which includes such early access. And before the 7 days end, if you feel the membership is not for you, you can just cancel, no hard feelings, and you're always welcome back. You can find a link to Patreon in the link in the description or the pinned comment below, or visit this address. I'm looking forward to welcoming you into the terrific Tales tribe on Patreon. And now, let's finish this story. With her face now completely visible, she looks like a young woman in her 30s, with smooth green skin and a black beauty spot in one of her cheeks. The Green Witch looks at you with her dark orange eyes, tilts her head soothingly, and gives the three of you a polite, ear-to-ear smile. "Xesadoriac Xeneronsion," the Green Witch says. "But you can just call me Essa. It's easier." Essa reaches out an open hand towards you, inviting a handshake. "I think our reader, or viewer, depending on how you consume this story, should have the honor of having my first handshake." "Now wait a minute," Thorgrim exclaims. Aren't you supposed to be evil? And, reader? Viewer? What nonsense are you going on about? First and foremost, me being evil? No? Essa replies, while confusedly scratching her green cheek where her one beauty spot is. And, is one a reader? Or a viewer? Well, a kinda deep question, isn't it? Essa fishes up a pair of perfectly square-shaped black glasses out of her pocket and places them against her nose. With these glasses equipped, Essa's eyes look huge. That question was kind of fourth wall breaking too. Essa squints her now gigantic deep orange eyes while suspiciously eyeing Frogrin. Didn't know you dealt with that kind of stuff, Frogrin. Fourth wall breaking, Frogrin replies. What kind of a wall is that? What are you... wait. How did you know my name? Essa giggles at Frogrin's confused state. Gina's jaw has dropped to the floor as she perplexedly observes the scene in front of her, still holding her silver sword, steady with both of her arms. Essa notices Gina's steady grip around her sword. Gina, Essa says, while Gina looks back, shocked. You can relax. You and your two friends are safe here with me. I don't know what kind of rumors you've heard about me, but I'm not evil. Gina lessens her tight grip around Shiljido somewhat, but not completely. But, Frogrin says, aren't you cooking bones in your witch cauldron? Oh my gosh! No! No! Essa exclaims, utterly horrified. Why would anyone ever do that? Yuck! Double yuck! Triple yuck! Essa becomes so disgusted that her square-shaped black glasses almost jump off her face. Hold up there, Frogrin interrupts. Then, what are you cooking in that pot? There are locals who think you're a man-eating monster, you know. Local smokers, Essa pouts as she pats herself on her green cheeks. I would have them know that I'm a really nice witch. And cute. Especially cute. Anyway, moving on. Essa interrupts herself. I want you to feel safe. So come over to my cauldron, my pretties, and I will show you what the witch is cooking. Essa gestures towards her bubbling black cauldron, containing green liquid and those mysterious, white, and solid parts sticking out of it. Very well, Gina loosens the grip of her silver sword, letting it rest towards the floor instead of being pointed towards Essa. Gina now carries the sword in one hand instead of two, without completely letting her guard down. I guess you deserve a chance to explain yourself, Gina shrugs. Quite, Essa replies. As you, Gina, and Frogrin stand in front of Essa's witch cauldron, you can see traces of leaves and mud in the green liquid. I'm cooking fertilizers, Essa explains, matter-of-factly. Fertilizers? Frogrin replies, shocked, as Gina's eyes also grow wide. But what about those white solid things in there? White limestones from the wilderness peaks, Essa answers. They are perfect for powering up fertilizers, you see. Essa catches the confusion on your faces. You didn't think the trees around these parts grew so tall and quick by themselves now, did ya? Essa winks playfully with one of her enormous deep orange eyes. And my voice was raspy before because I had been standing too long in the fertilizer smoke. Essa coughs embarrassedly. Well, I guess that's that. The rumor of the flesh and bone eating monster was false. But Frogrin lights up, looks at Gina, then at you, and finally back to Essa. Maybe then you're a finder of lost items. Gina's blue eyes light up. Mother's necklace. As a matter of fact, Essa manages to say before loud fluttering can be heard just outside, and as you gaze towards Essa's windows, you see they are covered with multicolored lights. As Essa faces the window, she utters, "We've got company." To be continued. Click or tap the screen here to watch another dark fantasy story from Beery Tales. Check out free stories and get early access with the links in the description or the pinned comment below. And a special thank you to all of my Patreon members who made this story possible.